Good evening, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, we're going to have a discussion tonight. I'm going to put the male expat view, and I guess this one here is going to put the Filipino view.
Yeah.
Yes, so what's the debate?
Yeah, but before that, I just want
Before that?
Yeah, before that, I just want to ask you a question.
What?
This is my pimple in Manila pollution.
Yes, and what are you doing right now?
My question is, darling,
Yes, honey.
I want you to answer personally, okay?
Honey, if you do the 1 + 1, I am going to kill you.
Not different. One. Different. 1 + 1. Yeah, every time I just made a joke of that Terrence, and it's really annoying.
I can't imagine why. Can you?
Because the kids always said, Ate Bet, 1 + 1, 11. 1 + 1, 11. And I said, why? Because there is no equals. That's why it's 11. But it's 2, okay? Yeah, so now we got a new portion on our channel. And that's called debate.
Debate?
Debate.
Debate.
Yeah. Who is more thrifty, a foreigner or a Filipino? Comment below. On your stand, darling, who is more thrifty?
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Which expat are we talking about?
Any, as long as foreigner.
Any?
Yeah. How
So,
about,
are
let's
we going to-
categorize, how about American?
So we're going to cover, let me see, we're going to cover
American,
Oh.
England, English, British, American, British, Australian, what else? That's the 3, just the 3.
German, French,
German.
Italian.
Okay, just 4.
There's a few other foreigners out there. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, okay, generalize.
Generalize.
Yeah.
So all we have to do is work out what every single American, German, English, French, Brazilian, whether they're more thrifty than a Filipino. This is so easy, isn't it? Do you believe in generalities, my dear?
Yeah. Okay,
I
let's
think you do.
Let's cover just 3. American, Australian, and English. English is British,
Wow,
right?
that makes it really easy, doesn't
Yeah, okay,
it?
just 3. Just 3 country. Okay, now, differentiate.
Let me just deal with what we were like when we first met, okay? And I explained to you that I didn't have very much money. I think I'd spent quite a bit of it just by fixing up that Volkswagen, which turned into a money pit. And let me see, what did we do? I remember saying to you, whenever I gave you, say, 2,000 or 3,000 pesos, I used to say to you, honey, please don't consider that my giving you this money is a challenge to see how quickly you can spend it. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but that time.
Yeah, but never mind, but.
I remember that. I remember it.
Good. Well, that's the end of that conversation, isn't it? I remember that it took quite a bit of time for us to find, by trial and error, backwards and forwards, you handling the money, me handling the money, you handling the money, and then me back handling the money. And, well, it wasn't until we started, we started to earn a little bit more money. It didn't take very much. At one time, we said, when it became clear that doing a YouTube channel, now this is before any of the difficulties arrived, that really all we would have to do would be to earn a few $100s more than my pension, and life would become much, much easier.
Yeah, we just thought that if we just have an additional income of $100,
that
but
would
things
make
change.
a huge difference.
It will make a huge difference.
Right.
And that time also, that time Terrence says, okay, this is the budget. it just happened that I cannot say no to my family.
Forever the optimist.
I cannot say no to my family if Mananglina needs something, if Manong Rado, if my other siblings, So that's another way, that's another reasons why sometimes if there is some emergency, I cannot say no to them. So that's why Darren says, "Oh, what happened?" And I said, "Look, they need help, so I just give it." So that's how it works. I think.
Well, that's how it didn't work.
Yeah, no, but we tried everything to fill up the needs. So when in the questions in the debate, if foreigner and Filipino who is more thrifty, I think it depends on the circumstances. It depends on the circumstances, because sometimes because I could say that Filipina is thrifty than foreigner when that Filipina knows the difficulty, when he came from difficulty, and he knows how the importance of savings, and how the importance of, it's just like the theory of
The what?
the theory
The Fury.
theory
Pu-
theory, theory, the tourist
Tourist.
theory.
Theory. I can't.
The parable, like
The parable. The
yeah,
story.
the
mean.
stories,
The story. Okay.
the stories of the ants, the ants,
The ants.
yeah,
Not the ones in your pants.
no, the ants, the
Okay.
ants, if you look at the ants, the story of the ants, when it's not raining, when it's in good conditions,
I don't think I've heard this one.
when it's good condition, the ants always get some food and put it in their warehouse, right? Or put it under the very big, like that, house.
The ant
you
hill.
know yeah, the ant hill, so that when it's rainy season, they cannot go out, right? Because there's a big drops and they're just very small, right? So
Okay,
in
so
other words, the whole
they don't
season,
go out in the rain.
yeah, they will not go out in the rain. So the
Okay,
whole season of the
okay.
rain, they're in their mountain house. But even that, how many days, how many weeks, they will not get hungry, because there been, what do you call that? There been savings in the what do you call that?
The ant hill.
No, there been savings in the
In the
What do you call that?
storeroom.
in their storeroom during the heat season, during not the rainy season.
So when it was abundant, they saved the food.
Yeah, they
so
saved
that
the
when
food.
it wasn't abundant, they would have some.
Yeah, that's that's the theory. If those Filipina that understand and knows the difference when they came from nothing, that's another thing. But if there are also Filipinas that is extravagant,
Well, people get used to having money very quickly, don't
yeah,
they?
because sometimes we're also in the period that, oh, we got some money, so we just spend it like without tomorrow.
Well, the biggest
You know?
danger is when, let's say that your income is
Below on what your needs and wants. Just always remember, needs is important to build up, but wants is the second options. You don't need to build up the wants. The most important one is the needs. Because for example, the needs is you need food. You need food to survive. You need clothes to cover your body. You need the
Not
daily
turning
needs.
you on, are we?
Your daily needs. But if you talk about wants, this is something that is more than what you need. And that's what you need to put on your mind, that prioritize the needs rather than the wants. And on the side of the foreigner, I'll let me finish.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you remember what I was talking about when you interrupted me?
No.
No,
Okay.
neither do I now.
So on your side, who is more thrifty, Filipina or foreigner?
Oh, is that the subject?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think it depends. I don't think either. It's a generality. Generalities don't work.
Yeah, that it depends on the situations in both parties, but your comments, your suggestion is under below. You can comment, but on the side of the foreigner, there are some foreigner they're very thrifty. They're very thrifty because they also came from nothing, right? And they don't, or possible they become they become rich, and then suddenly they become poor, and then suddenly they become rich again. So in other words, they didn't want to become poor. That's why they're very thrifty. And there are also foreigners that is very thrifty because they're scared of the future, their future, But always remember, don't be scared of the future because there is no guarantee that the future will arrive. You never know. The next morning, the next few hours, you're gone, and you
Yeah,
always put your mind the worries.
yeah. Next morning you might wake up dead.
Yeah, so don't worry
Yeah.
for tomorrow. All you need to do is just do whatever what makes you happy today, what makes you satisfied today, and then let the future problem for itself.
Well, what about saving then?
Uh,
That kind of destroys the idea of saving, doesn't
yeah,
it?
I think savings, but don't save more than what you want.
Don't save
More than what you want.
more than what you want.
Yeah, because what happened now in some politicians, let's focus on some politicians.
Heaven forbid.
Yeah, they save more than what they gonna spend for the rest of their maybe 10, what do you call that, 10th generation or 20th generation.
You're
You got
talking
me?
about obscenely rich people
Yeah.
who have more money than they can
More
ever
than
spend.
money, they got more than money, more than their 10th or 20 generations could ever spend. Right?
We're not going to be able to cover that, are we,
You know.
darling? I don't think somehow.
But always remember, this is another the law of, what do you call that, the law of wants, the needs and the demands. There's a need, there's laws on that, right? What do you call that, there's a
Are you saying supply and demand?
yeah, no, not another one.
No,
There's a stage,
another one.
there's a stage that sometimes we got in ourselves that, oh, once I got that, I will be satisfied, right? But then when you got that thing, instead you satisfied, you want more, So in other
That's
words,
right.
the needs and the wants are growing up. But always remember that.
I think that's called the law of greed.
But always remember, life and happiness is more important, that rather than worried for the future, rather than, what do you call that?
Well, nobody ever went to their deathbed
Yeah.
wishing that they'd done more time working in the office and earning more money. That's for sure. Most people, when they go to their deathbed, if they do get the chance to say anything else but if they get the chance to speak any words of wisdom, it usually would be that they'd wished that more people had been lovely to them, or that more people had loved them.
Yeah, but the one thing for sure is, Filipina is more lovable, and at the same time, the value is always been trying to extend, not just for herself, but not just for the sake of herself, but at the same time for the family. Because we as a Filipina, we value the family. Because it's the core values that we got.
I think we've kind of meandered a little bit here. We started off by talking about like a discussion about me
So
putting my bit in about being thrifty as a foreigner, and then you talking about how thrifty a Filipino would do. And of course, generalities don't work.
Yeah.
So we ended up talking about what? Family values. Now we're talking about the value of having a good family rather than having your pockets full or your bank account down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what do you call that, when you're sick, your money cannot be watched on you in the hospital, right?
No, say that one again.
When you're sick, your money will not sit and give you encouragement in the hospital, right?
I
But
think
if
it
you
probably might pay the bill though, don't
Yeah,
you
but
think?
but if you got a family, they will encourage you to live, continue, don't lose hope. You will be okay, right? So not sometimes
Probably.
But I don't know. But I think the
You
most
think you don't know?
yeah, but the most important is you are happy, okay? Because when you're happy, everyone is happy.
When you're happy, Oh no, that's when you're smiling, isn't it?
You know, so again,
Did you
please
know
like,
that? Did
comment,
you know
and
that song?
subscribe. But I think, yeah, I know that song.
Yeah. Oh, let's see it.
When you're happy, that's the most important things that you could be. Like that.
It's when you're smiling, when you're smiling. I think this was Schnozzel Durante that you said, when you're smiling, something like that.
Yeah, so who is more thrifty? Filipina, American, British, or Australian? I think Australian. Why?
Where did you pluck that out of?
Why?
Nowhere.
Because British is, you know, English. You know,
British is English.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant.
British is English. American is a little louder. Australian is a little slang. But among all, Australian is more good friends than American. Have a good day and God bless.